It is believed that he developed breathing problems, and these breathing problems during a meeting is suspected, and this is subject to confirmation by the medical report, that he could have had a major cardiac arrest.
Late George Okurapa, before his death, said Uganda's path towards industrialization remains clear. This he expressed shortly after his visit to Kapeka Industrial Park, moments after returning to Uganda from exile.
Historically, the concept of industrial parks has existed in many parts of the world, including Europe and Asia, for example, where this concept was used to stimulate economic development going way back in the 1930s.
About 2 years later, Okurapa, the former guilty president of Makerere University, who has been living in Canada, died of suspected cardiac arrest.
The news is deep and very difficult to take. 11 days after the new year, George Okurapa is no more.
His death is a loss to the country.
He had had many engagements with His Excellency the President, and these arrangements were all made to meet the President by the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Tayebwa, and my brother Kwame Ejalu, who have been at the center stage of getting him to come back to Uganda. His family was here, and part of his family was in Kampala when the news hit all of us here in Kampala.
Mukula recounts the circumstances under which the former exilee returned to the country. It was an extension of goodwill by the president
to welcome him in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
To a man who had missed his late father's burial, Ephraim Okalebo.
The president had got to know George Okurapa closely, and they were developing many opportunities that he would have participated in working with the national resistance movement. He was a person who loved Uganda so much. He was the epitome of humility, a fine gentleman, a patriot, a nationalist, and a great Pan-Africanist. He believed so much in the Ateso, the Teso traditional base.
Mukula has a word for the family.
I know what the relatives are going through. The pain is something that we must now learn to embrace. The Lord Almighty has spoken, and in this case, in God's case, there is no appeal.
George Okurapa, a former UPC diehard, fled Uganda in January 1987 after being detained for 6 months without trial. With the support of the NRM government, Okurapa returned to Uganda from Canada in December 2021. Henry Okurut, UBC.